So hello everybody, as you can see on the screen, we are going to discuss the remaining questions of UGC NET English December 2024. The exam was held in January 2025. I have already discussed 225 questions in the last video part 1. If you have not watched yet, you can click on the info card to watch the video. So without delaying, let's start question number 26. Okay, so here is that question number 26. The question is, who introduced the term death of the author in literary theory? The question is, who introduced the term death of the author in literary theory? Options you have. Okay, now let's see the correct answer. So the correct answer is Roland Barthes. You can see on the screen the correct answer is Roland Barthes. Okay, moving on to the question number 27. Let's discuss the concept death of the author. It was introduced in 1967. Work was Death of the Author by Roland Barthes. In this, Barthes argued that the author's intentions and biography are irrelevant and meaning is created by the reader. Now next question, who introduced the concept of difference in deconstruction? Options you have. So what will be the correct answer? Let's see. So the correct answer will be Jacques Derrida. Difference in deconstruction, this concept was introduced by Jacques Derrida. So the right answer is Jacques Derrida. This concept was introduced in 1968 in the work Speech and Phenomena, and the significance of this term was combines difference and deferral, showing that meaning is always delayed and dependent on the other signs. Next question, who introduced the term panopticism in surveillance studies? So options you have. Let's see which is the correct answer. So the correct answer would be Michael Foucault. This concept panopticism was introduced in the year 1975 in the work Discipline and Punish. In which work? Discipline and Punish in the year 1975. Okay, question number 29 is, who developed the concept of horizon of expectations in reception theory? There are many concepts introduced in the last year's exam which was tricky but easy. We just have to go through the detail analysis of what we study. So there are many concepts UGC NET asked. So question number 29 is based on another concept. Who developed the concept of horizon of expectations in reception theory? So options you have. The correct answer is Hans Robert Joss. Okay, so this concept horizon of expectations in the year introduced in the year 1967 in the work literary history as a challenge to literary theory. And what was the significance? Joss argued that readers interpretation depend on cultural and historical context, shaping how texts are understood over time. If you remember, new literary criticism concept was like wise this concept that readers are the interpretations of the text. They can form their own theory, they can form their own meaning just by reading the text itself without going through the any historical background of the writer or author. So after this, let's see the next question. Question number 30, who coined the term intentional fallacy in literary criticism? Next question, who coined the term intentional fallacy in literary criticism? This question I have already discussed. Options you have, you can see the options. T.S. Eliot, this concept doesn't given by him. I. Richards is also. Clint Brooks is also. They are the literary critics. So options we have is W.K. Wimsett and Monroe Beardsley is the correct answer. Okay. Now let's see the question. Now let's see the next question. What was the term intentional fallacy? So intentional fallacy, this concept was introduced in the year 1946 in the work The Verbal Icon. The Verbal Icon. In this concept, the writers argued that a text's meaning should be analyzed independently of the author's intentions. That means whatever the intentions writer have, they put in their text. So that should be so that should be analyzed independently because it is based on author's intentions. Okay, next question. Question number 31. Who introduced the concept of hegemony in cultural studies? I have already discussed the concept hegemony, the definition, meaning, example, writer, year, significance of hegemony, and how we can pronounce this word in two different ways. So if you have not watched this video, you can click on the info card or go to the description. I have put the link so you can watch. So options you can see: Antonio Gramsci, Raymond Williams, Louis Althusser and Terry Eagleton. What will be the correct answer? Hegemony. The concept is related with none other than Antonio Gramsci. Okay, Antonio Gramsci. Next, this concept hegemony introduced in the year 1929 to 1935 in the work Prison Notebooks, which is very famous and popular work by Antonio Gramsci. In this work, he described hegemony as the dominance of ruling class ideology through cultural institutions shaping public perceptions. That means one class, one rich class or one higher class, how they dominate the lower class. This is the concept of hegemony. Let's see the question number 32. So question number 32 is who introduced the concept of interpellation in Marxist theory? You know that Marxist theory is related with the Karl Marx. So this concept interpellation, options you have Karl Marx, Louis Althusser, Frederick Jameson and Raymond Williams. Okay. So what will be the correct answer? Any guesses? So the correct answer would be Louis Althusser. Okay. The interpellation in Marxist theory, this concept was given by Louis Althusser. What is this concept? This concept, Althusser, in this concept, Louis argued that ideology hails individuals into social roles, making them subjects within the system. This concept was introduced in the year 1970 in the work Ideology and Ideological State Apparatosis. This concept was introduced in the year 1970 in the work Ideology and Ideological State Apparatosis. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Question number 33. Who introduced the concept of implied reader? Implied reader, this concept was given by whom? This question is asking who was the writer who gave this concept implied reader. Options you have Wolfgang Iser, Stanley Fish, Hans Robert Joss or Mikhail Bakhtin. Who could be the writer? Any guesses? Okay, let's see the question answer. So the correct answer of the concept given by the writer implied reader is Wolfgang Iser. This concept was given or introduced in the year 1972 in the work The Implied Reader itself, and in this the writer described the implied reader as an idealized figure embedded in the text influencing readers' interaction. I have brought the very easy concepts explanation the year and the work, the concept was introduced by the writers so that you can easily memorize everything. Now let's move on to the next question, everyone. Question number 34. Who coined the term the anxiety of influence? The anxiety of influence. Who coined the term? Options you have: Harold Bloom, T.S. Eliot, Northrop Frye, or Matthew Arnold. The term and the anxiety of influence. Let's see the correct answer. So the correct answer is Harold Bloom. The correct answer is Harold Bloom. What is this concept? This concept, the anxiety of influence, introduced in the year 1973 in the work The Anxiety of Influence itself. And in this work, Bloom argued that the poets struggle with the influence of their predecessors, shaping their creative process. Do you understand now? In this work, Bloom argued that poets struggle with the influence of their predecessors, and that means they try to shape the creative process of the predecessors. That means the earlier writers, earlier poets who has inspired the upcoming poets, or who keep inspiring them to do better. So this is the concept. Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 35. Who introduced the concept of literary archetypes in criticism? The concept literary archetypes in criticism introduced by whom? Options you have. You can see the options and try to guess. Literary archetypes in criticism. Okay, let's see the correct answer. So options Northrop Frye. The correct answer will be Northrop Frye. Literary archetypes concept introduced in the year 1957 in the work Anatomy of Criticism. Anatomy of Criticism. In this, the writer categorized literature into cyclical patterns influenced by Jung's archetypes. This concept was introduced in the 1957 in the work Anatomy of Criticism. Okay, next question. Question number 36. Who coined the term hypertext in postmodernism? Hypertext term in postmodernism coined by whom? Options you have. You can see the options. Okay, let's move on to the answer. So the correct answer would be George Landau. George Landau. So the correct answer is the concept hypertext was introduced in the year 1992 and in the work Hypertext 3.0. In this, the writer applied Barthes and Derrida's ideas to digital text where meaning is non-linear. Next question. Who introduced the concept, the semiotics of theatre and drama? Who introduced the concept of the semiotics of theatre and drama? Options you have. You can see the options. Okay, let's see the correct answer. So the correct answer is Keir Elm. Keir Elm is the correct answer, who gave the concept semiotics of theatre in the year 1980 in the work The Semiotics of Theatre and Drama. The concept is semiotics of theatre and given in the work The Semiotics of Theatre and Drama. What is the significance? He analyzed how theatrical signs create meaning, combining linguistics and visual elements. We have seen a lot of we watch lot of movies where signs create meaning, combining language and visual elements. That means we see the picture, we see the text, we see the language. So this is how this concept signifies. Next question. Who introduced the concept of simulacrum in postmodernism? Simulacrum in postmodernism. This concept was given by whom? Options you have. Okay, let's see the correct answer. So the correct answer is Jean Baudrillard. Correct answer is Jean Baudrillard. Simulacrum. This concept was introduced in the year 1981 in the work Simulacra and Simulation. He describes simulacrum as a copy of a copy, replacing reality with hyperreal images. The way we are doing in AI technologies in today's world. So this concept is somehow related, or somehow this concept is somehow related with the latest technology we are all aware about. Copy of copy replacing reality with hyperreal images. Okay, next. Question number 39. Who introduced the term grand narrative in postmodern philosophy? Grand narrative in postmodern philosophy introduced by whom? This is the term you have to tell the writer. In the previous year exam, January 2025, all the questions or all the concepts, they have asked the writer's name. Who coined this term, who coined the concept, who gave this term, who related with the given term. This type of question UGC NET is asking. So we have to study in depth to get all the concept clear. So options you have. Who introduced the term grand narrative in postmodern philosophy? Okay, let's see the correct answer. So the correct answer is Jean Francois Lyotard. Options. Option number A is the right answer. Option number A is the right answer. This concept, grand narrative, introduced in the year 1979. In the year 1979, in the work The Postmodern Condition. What is the significance? That postmodernism rejects universal grand narratives in favor of localized knowledge. I hope you have understood this concept. That means the writer argues that postmodernism rejects universal grand narratives. That means on another or the huge level, if the concept is organized, that is the grand narratives, in favor of localized knowledge. The local knowledge we have or the writers have, in favor of that, this concept was rejected by the writer. Okay, question number 40. Who introduced the term cultural materialism in literary studies? Cultural materialism in literary studies. We have faced many questions based on cultural materialism. This is the single topic. Many questions appear in UGC NET exams. Not only this, but PGT exam also, so you can prepare accordingly. This concept cultural materialism in literary studies, introduced by the writer Raymond Williams. Introduced by the writer Raymond Williams. You must be familiar about this concept cultural materialism. When we studied about the literary theory or literary studies, we go through all the concept and the writers. So this topic cultural materialism was introduced in the year 1977 in the work Marxism and Literature. Williams combined Marxist analysis with cultural studies, arguing that literature is shaped by economic and historical forces. The way Karl Marx argued, this concept is somehow related with that Marxist analysis with cultural studies, arguing literature is shaped by economic and historical forces. That means literature is based on what we have done in history, or what that reflects are the history obviously reflects our current situation. So this is the concept related to that, and also literature is shaped by economical phenomena. So this is the significance of this concept. Let's move on to the question number 41. Who introduced the concept of dialogism in literary theory? Options you have Mikhail Bakhtin, Roland Barthes, Michael Foucault, and Jacques Derrida. You can see how many times these writers have been given or given by UGC NET, Mikhail Bakhtin, Roland Barthes, Michael Foucault, Jacques Derrida. So you do not skip these writers, everybody must read all the related concepts, all the related terms related with these four writers. So the dialogism theory in literary theory is given by none other than Mikhail Bakhtin. Mikhail Bakhtin. Carnivalesque, dialogism, heteroglossia, there are many terms given by Mikhail Bakhtin only. So this concept was also introduced in the year 1929. In the same year, hegemony concept was given by Antonio Gramsci. In the work Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics, in this work, Bakhtin describes literature as a dialogue between multiple voices rejecting the idea of single authoritative meaning. Let's see the question number 42. Again, see, I told you carnivalex in literary theory, and options you have. Who coined the term carnivalesque in literary theory? Options you have Mikhail Bakhtin, Julia Kristeva, Jacques Derrida, and Jean Baudrillard. I told you earlier that carnivalesque, heteroglossia, and the latest term study we just saw in the previous question is dialogism. These concepts are very important, given by Mikhail Bakhtin. He is very important, and these concepts were given by Mikhail Bakhtin. What is the significance of this concept? It is introduced in the year 1965 in the work Rebellis and His World. He describes a subversive literary mode where hierarchies are inverted and the grotesque challenges authority. You should not skip Mikhail Bakhtin if you want to score well in your exam. There are many concepts given by Mikhail Bakhtin, and I think he is also a favorite of UGC NET. So you should not skip Mikhail Bakhtin's concept. Whatever concept he has given, you should study. You must know how many concepts he has given and what was the significance. Next question. Who introduced the concept of rhizome in postmodern theory? Options you have rhizome in postmodern theory. This concept given by whom? Any idea? Okay, let's see the question's answer. So the correct option is option number 1, option A. Option A, Gilles Deleuze and Felix Guattari. This concept was introduced in the year 1980 in the work A Thousand Platos. In this, a rhizomatic structure lacks a central point, allowing multiple non-hierarchical interpretations opposing traditional linear thought. This concept was given in the work A Thousand Platos in the year 1980 by Gilles Deleuze and Felix Guattari. So, I will put the Telegram channel link in which by joining the channel you can get the PDF of this MCQs. Let's see the question number 44. So who introduced the term the gaze in usual cultural studies? Who introduced the term the gaze in usual cultural studies? Visual cultural studies, the gaze concept is given by whom? Options you have. Okay, let's see the correct answer. So the correct answer is the correct answer is Laura Mulvey. Laura Mulvey. The concept the gaze is given by Laura Mulvey in the year 1975 in the work Usual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema. Visual pleasure and narrative cinema, this concept was given, and the name of this concept not only the gaze but the male gaze. So must remember. Next question. Question number 45. Who introduced the concept of heteroglossia in literature? As I told you earlier, all the concepts by Mikhail Bakhtin was given in the single paper which was held in Jan 2025. Carnivalesque you just saw, then dialogism, heteroglossia, all these concepts are given by Mikhail Bakhtin and appeared in the same examination. So you must not skip Mikhail Bakhtin, everybody, if you want to score well. Okay. So the answer you must have guessed. The correct answer is Mikhail Bakhtin. Heteroglossia 1934 to 1935, this concept was given in the work Discourse in the Novel. Heteroglossia refers to the presence of multiple voices and perspectives within a text, resisting singular interpretation. Do not miss Mikhail Bakhtin. Many concepts appear in the exam, in all exam. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 46. Who introduced the term meta narrative in postmodernism? Meta narrative in postmodernism, metacognitive or meta thinking, these type of concepts are also asking by the UGC NET. So meta narrative in postmodernism, options you have, you can see the options. Okay, let's see the correct answer. So the correct answer is Jean-Francois Lyotard. Jean-Francois Lyotard. Meta-narrative concept is given by Jean-Francois Lyotard in the year 1979 in the work The Postmodern Condition. Not only the old writers or the most popular writers UGC NET is asking, but there are many new writers which we have missed. We should have to study about them also. The smallest concept is also asking by UGC NET. So please go through all the concept and memorize all the concepts, work year and the significance. This is how they ask. Next question. Who introduced the term binary opposition in structuralism? Options you have Jacques Derrida, Roland Barthes, Ferdinand de Saussure and Claude Levi-Strauss. So any guesses who gave this concept binary opposition in structuralism? Let's see the correct answer. Claude Levi-Strauss. Binary opposition is the concept or term given by Claude Levi-Strauss in the year 1958 in the work Structural Anthropology. Let's see the next question. Who introduced the term pastiche in postmodernism? Who introduced the term pastiche in postmodernism? Postmodernism, many questions have been asked from the concept, from the topic postmodernism. So all the topics I will bring the topic wise concept before the exam. So please stay tuned and I request you to like, share and subscribe my channel, everybody. But I really humble and grateful to you that you are giving your support. Okay, so let's see the answer. Answer is Frederick Jameson. Correct answer is Frederick Jameson. Pastiche in the year 1991, this concept was introduced in the work Postmodernism or the Cultural Logic of Late Capitalism. Postmodernism or the cultural logic of late capitalism, this concept was introduced by the writer Frederick Jameson in the year 1991? Okay, let's move on to the question number 49. Who introduced the concept of patriarchy in feminist theory? Patriarchy in feminist theory, this concept was introduced by whom? So options you have. Now let's see the correct option. Kate Millett. Kate Millett, option number A is the correct answer. This concept was given by Kate Millett in the year 1970 and the work is Sexual Politics. In this work, the sexual politics, this concept patriarchy in feminism was introduced in the year 1970 by whom? By the Kate Millett. Patriarchy, India is also patriarchy system based, it is from the ancient time till now. This concept is still running. So this concept was argued by the Millet that patriarchy is a systematic operation of women reinforced by literature and society. It's very easy to understand this concept. Question number 50. Who introduced the concept of hybridity in post-colonial studies? Who introduced the concept of hybridity in post-colonial studies? So the concept of hybridity in post-colonial studies introduced by none other than Homi K. Bhabha. Homi K. Bhabha, this writer is also UGC NET's favorite. Homi K. Bhabha hybridity concept is given in the year 1994 in the work The Location of Culture. And what is the significance? Hybridity as the mixing of cultures in post-colonialist societies, creating new identities. Mixing of cultures in the upcoming societies or post-colonial societies, creating new identities from the old one to the new one, the new identity, how the new identity is created, this is the concept. So that's all for today. In the next video I will bring the remaining questions, that means till the question number 100 we will practice and see the concept, writer and the year the concept or the term was introduced. So till then, please like, share and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. Thank you for your support and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye and take care.